By the way, yeah, Xeriscape is spelled Xeriscape. So yeah, so many people say Xeroscape, but it is Xeriscape.
Right.
Yeah.
So Steve, what are some of the benefits and so what are some of the things that aren't fantastic about xeriscaping in your opinion?
Okay. Yeah. By the way, I hope you guys like our backgrounds, lawnmower and the
Yeah.
Xeriscape. We found some backgrounds we thought would be really good. So yeah, so I think that there are some benefits. I think there's like three benefits that I really look at with Xeriscaping. I think things are changing. It used to be having the big yard and the nicest lawn in the area, and people would spend a lot of time mowing the lawn and then the water bills go up as well. So let's start first of all talk about the value that you get by Xeriscaping. I think the biggest value is with money. And I think so for me, my wife and I, this was a couple of years ago, we actually removed probably about a fourth of our lawn. And it is amazing how much lower our water bills went down after we took out that portion of that lawn. Because it's just you're spending that money so much on water bills, and water bills get really high. In fact, I talked to my wife, and I was just trying to ask her, how much did your mother save by, or actually, how much does your mother pay per month? And she said last month she paid like $300 to $400 in water bills. So that's a lot of money, and that's from watering the lawn, and then some of the trees as well, but mostly watering the lawn. So I think between the gas money that you save and just also doing the lawn mowing, money is one of the biggest things that you save. So have you seen the same thing, David?
Absolutely, I have. So we recently purchased a new home, and it has artificial turf in it. Has beautiful gardens. In a lot of ways, it's very similar to my background I have right here in my backyard, to where we have, minus the artificial turf that's not shown here, tons of flowers, bushes, trees. It's beautiful, but yeah, but it's something that, and I think of this as, time is money as well. So there's the commodity of water, and as we know, here in Colorado Springs specifically, water is kind of expensive. It's a lot more expensive than it is in other parts of the country. And so if you can find a way to reduce that cost, it's going to save you some money. Now, I think there's also the concept of, do you enjoy it? Now, if you enjoy working in your garden, or if you really enjoy getting on your lawnmower and mowing away, then that's something that you should do. But if you're looking for a way to maybe save a few dollars, then there is some upfront cost to xeriscaping, the rocks and things that are there,
Right.
removing sprinkler systems. But in the long run, it can help you with, I think, with saving you some time and give you the
That's true.
opportunity to do other things, whether it's spending time with your family doing something different. It's just something to consider. Now, some people love that, as I mentioned before. So if that's a way for you to bond with your family or with your significant other, or just to get into nature, then yeah, don't xeriscape. But if
It's true.
you're thinking, oh man, it's just every Saturday, I'm the weekend warrior battling against the hedges, then it's something to consider for sure.
Now, David, have you ever looked into turf costs? One of the things that we actually did look into some turf. I was amazed at how expensive it is now, especially to get the
Yeah.
really high quality turf. You can get the stuff that's just kind of really cheap. We didn't end up going with that because we were worried about the dogs peeing on it, and then it's going to continuously smell. I know we looked at
Right.
that a little bit, but we thought that is really a very good option. I'm seeing more and more of that where people have turf or even a blend of turf/grass. So that's also another possibility if you're trying to look to save money. I think it's the long-term play is what,
Right.
if you're going to be there for a long time and you don't want the maintenance, then, do more xeriscaping if you want to, but if you enjoy, doing more and being out, like you said, on the tractor, or enjoy just the, the process of lawn mowing, or you find that I get a lot of exercise by doing that, I mean, then go for that. But I'm seeing though a shift, and I think you have too, David, in that people are wanting more and more xeriscape anymore, because it just takes so much water, and we need to conserve as well, because there's sometimes limited resources, and there's so many people trying to pull from Colorado as well. So, but just going back to what you were talking about, I think money is the first thing, but then time. How much time do you want to spend on your yard? I think that's a lot of it right there. But if you want to save time and money, I think Xeriscape is a great option.
Yeah, I think so too. Now, as you mentioned, it might not be for everyone, but it definitely is an option that could help you. So
Right.
it is expensive for sure. The upfront cost, especially for the high stuff, is kind of expensive. But then if you take
Yeah.
into consideration the watering, and if you can get rid of your lawnmower, or the time that you can save, then maybe there's a payoff there. It won't become immediate, but it's, I think, kind of like refinancing your home. There's a cost to it, but if you understand how much money you're going to save in the long run, that's what it is. And I think, it makes me think about investment properties. So some people have the investment property strategy of they're going to buy a home, they'll live in it for a few years, and then they'll convert that home into a rental property, an income stream, or maybe just a retirement plan. It's an additional retirement plan. And so that's something definitely to consider. If that is something that you're looking at doing, then you might want to seriously consider xeriscaping, or just finding ways in which, no matter who the renter is, it's less likely they're going to damage your property. So you're going to renter-proof the property, and perhaps xeriscaping is a way in which you can do that. I know we've mentioned before about you might have a very well-intentioned renter who you've gone to the time and you're going to winter-proof your sprinkler system. You have it cleared out. You do everything and prep it, but then you have an unusually hot day during the winter. And then you notice, oh, you know what? I want to help take care of Steve and his property. So I'm going to turn the sprinkler system back on, and I'm going to make sure that it runs and it takes care of it, keeps his grass alive because I'm a good renter. But then something happens that they don't know how to do, how to shut it off, or then you have to clear it out because the following day, as we know in Colorado Springs, the weather is a little bit fickle. There could be a late frost or freeze, and then now your sprinkler system is possibly blown up. It's frozen, broken. And so, this is just another way to possibly consider protecting your investment.
Yep. I'm glad you brought up investments because, anybody who's going to be having a rental, I would really recommend, if you're going to remodel a house or something and flip something, try to put Xeriscape, or especially if you're going to buy and hold. In other words, you're going to buy the house, but then you're going to hold it with some renters being in there. I mean, who wants the maintenance? Or you don't want to rely on the renters to take care of that. So it's just more peace of mind all the way around. So I think there's a real move toward the Xeriscape model, but again, it's all up to the person whatever they want to do. So hey, David, you said that you bought turf. Ryan, is that something that you have done too for part of your lawn?
So yeah, I know you asked the question earlier. I apologize for not covering. Yeah. So when I purchased my home, it already had artificial turf with it. And interestingly enough, so I've not lived there for a long time, but I originally grew up in the deep South in Georgia, and it was every Saturday we were out mowing so much grass every Saturday before I could do anything else. All growing up, the front yard, the backyard, and land is less expensive there than it is here, and so it was just kind of. It's something that I was not looking forward to. I got to the point where I hate mowing the grass. And that's just me. That's personal. But when I purchased this last home, that was a factor that I kind of got excited about. I don't have to mow the grass anymore. Oh, this is really great. I don't have to, on Saturdays, I can go to the park, go hiking and do other things. And it's not one of those things on my to-do lists in the morning, whether it's Saturday or Sunday or other day that maybe I'm doing yard work. So, so as far as pricing it out, it all depends upon square footage, and then there's the installation cost. And more than likely, when you do have it installed, you're going to have the technicians install it, or you can install it yourself, which is hard to do. But you're probably going to have them come back out to make some adjustments. Well, that's from what I've heard from some of my friends who've done it. So, but so far, I love it. It does get a little warm on a hot, sunny day, but also in the wintertime, the snow melts fairly quickly, and the kids go outside and play, and they're not tracking in the mud and the grass into the house, which I kind of like as well.
Okay. Well, so that was a value to. So now going to the real estate side, when you're going to buy a house, is it beneficial to, if you have, is that more attractive to people that are buying now? And I think it is. And that was attractive. It sounds like a little bit to you. Like, I don't have to be worrying about mowing. I can go hiking and doing some other things. I think it actually, right now, it actually increases a little bit the resaleability of your house. If you've got a huge yard, people say, oh my goodness, I don't want to take care of that. You may limit your buyer pool, possibly. Now, there's so many people that will obviously say that, I want more lawn to mow. I want some of that. But I think more and more people anymore, because of time, people want to experience life. They don't want to be tied down with a lawn and all the maintenance of a yard. So I think for resaleability, as a real estate agent, I think it's actually a good thing to do. It's actually a good investment to Xeriscape because I think more people are wanting that all the time. You always have to think about what the masses are wanting. And I think that was a benefit for you. You saw that when you moved into this house that you bought. So.
Yeah. And for me, it was, yeah. And thanks for bringing that up, Steve. I appreciate that. But it does, again, it's an option. And so that's just something we're like, educate people, let them know this is something that you might have an interest in. It might be a benefit to you and the resaleability of your home. And also as a renter, if you're going to rent a property, you're like, wow, I have the benefits of not having to maintain a lawn. And then, but yeah, I still have, I have this extra space opposed to living in an apartment complex where I'm still renting. So absolutely. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. But again, that's what we do. I mean, trying to get people to think about, especially value over time. So think about when you buy a house, think about, the value of it over time. So first of all, what do I want to accomplish? Am I going to plan on myself, working extra time? Think about, okay, the winter time, I'm gonna have to go ahead and, shut off the sprinklers and, get it winterized. There's a lot that goes along with this. Just think about those things ahead of time. What are your goals? That's always what it comes down to. And that's why, David and I, one of the things we try to do is help people with real estate. And, you on the lending side, me on the, helping people purchase. But I think it all comes down to making the right choice for you for the long term and for the short run. And anyway, I think the greatest things that we have is there are options. And there's options out there. So you decide what your best choice is. But we put a poll in here, right, David? We have a poll in here, and we would love to hear from you kind of below, comments. Do you use Xeriscape or do you use traditional landscaping? Which one do you go by? And I would love to hear what people have to say. Are you a Xeriscaper? Are you that? And tell us whether you like one or the other. We'd love to hear from you on that.
Absolutely. So yeah, let us know, guys. And if there are questions, like Steve mentioned, everyone's unique. Everyone's situation is specific to them. And so if we can find out what you want, what your goals are, then we can help you to put together a plan to reach those goals financially, with real estate. And so, I don't, that's good for me. I don't really have any other questions or comments. Steve, is there anything else that you're kind of wondering about that you'd like to share with people?
I don't think so. No, this is a fun thing to talk about. I enjoy this. So thanks, David. I appreciate you doing this with me today.
Yeah. Thank you for joining me as well. If you guys would need to reach us, we're going to have our information also available below. And you can see our phone numbers here just below the screen here, Steve or myself. So reach out, and thank you again. We'll hope to share some more great content soon.
All right. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend. All right. Thanks, everyone.